Hi, good morning. My name is Jennifer Garcia, and I'm a graduate clinician here at USF. How are you?
Good. I'm Sarah, Brian's mom.
Nice to meet you, Sarah.
Nice to meet you.
So today I wanted to go ahead and discuss a couple concerns that Brian's teacher brought up about his communication and development. And I just really want to get a background from you to see where he stands from your viewpoint and going to get as much information as possible. It should take about 45 minutes to an hour. Do you have time for that?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get started.
Okay.
Can you describe to me Brian's communication as a toddler?
When Brian was a toddler, I feel like his communication was pretty normal. He would call out to me, "Mommy," when he was trying to get my attention, or come over and tug on me and tell me what he wanted, like drink.
So you felt like he developed, all the right times at the right stages. So you said, "Mama," "Daddy," the typical language. Okay, great, thank you. And was there ever a time before this that his teacher may have brought up? Was there ever a time before this that you were ever concerned with his language or his speech or development of any sort?
No. This is like the first time I'm hearing of it. Like his communication being a problem. I've never had a problem with it. So.
And how well do you understand Brian?
I understand Brian every time. I mean, if he's ever like unclear, all I just ask him is just to repeat himself or something, and I understand what he's saying.
And during the times that he's unclear, is there a pattern to when he's unclear? Is there certain words or situations that he becomes unclear in?
I'm trying to think here. I don't feel like he has like a pattern or anything like that. I've noticed it's just like he got really excited or something and just like ran his words together or something.
Typical. And how well does Brian understand you, would you say?
Well, I mean, when he wants to, he understands me just fine. So, but no, he understands what I'm saying for the most part.
And when Brian is trying to get your attention, would you say he tugs on your shirt or tugs on your arm?
When he's trying to get my attention, most of the time he'll just like call out my name or something. And like maybe if I'm ignoring him or something, he'll come over and like tug on my arm or my shirt or something.
And how about when he's requesting, let's say, perhaps like, a cookie jar or something, or a cookie from the cookie jar? Would he just shout at you, shout "Mom"? Or
no, I mean, he would say something like, "Mommy, do you want a cookie?"
Okay. And does he use gestures along with that? Would you say he uses gestures at all, or just vocalizes his request?
Well, I mean, he just would be like, "Mommy, do you want a cookie?" I think it's just normal, though, have your talking with your hands.
And how well would you say Brian uses past tense correctly? Like when describing a situation or something that happened at school?
I mean, sometimes he can get a little confused by it. Just like on which one to use. But most of the time, like if he's, talking about something he already did, he'll be like, "I jumped," or "I ran," or "I was running, Mommy, I fell."
Do you find that it might be difficult for him to switch between present tense and past tense? Or
maybe, or sometimes I think he just might get a little confused about which one he's talking about. It's normal, though. It's like any other kid.
How often would you say Brian follows simple commands such as Brian, put your shoes away, or Brian, turn off the light?
He can follow commands, just not when he wants to. I mean,
and let's say if you ever had a command that would need a past tense, would you think you would have difficulties following that?
No, I don't feel like he's ever had any problem understanding whenever I was using a past tense, or just sometimes he might use the wrong word. Talking.
And when you're communicating with Brian, or he's communicating with another adult or fellow peer, like what percentage of the time would you say he maintains eye contact?
He's pretty good at maintaining eye contact. At least like 80% of the time. sometimes maybe he would get distracted if like the TV's on or he heard a loud noise or someone was talking.
And when having a conversation, how relevant are his responses to the conversation?
Oh, no, I think he does a good job at staying like on topic.
Yeah.
And, yeah, like being able to. Sometimes he'll shout out a random answer, but just had a random thought.
Can you give me an example of when Brian's communicating with a fellow peer, or do you ever feel like when he's communicating with a fellow peer that there's ever miscommunication, like the peer might not understand Brian or vice versa?
I never seen kids really getting frustrated with him when they are playing. So I think that he's fine whenever they're. Most of the time, they seem to play very well and they seem to understand what.
Do you ever feel like maybe he ever gets frustrated with the kids, like he's not quite on the same understanding level as them, or?
I've seen him getting frustrated with them before, but I don't think it was from them not understanding him. I think it's he wasn't being able to understand what they were trying to do.
Can you give me an example of how Brian pretend plays, if he currently does pretend play?
Well, Brian's favorite thing right now is a firefighter, so he likes to pretend to be a firefighter. He just runs around, with his little firefighter suit, making siren noises, trying to put out fires.
So there's never actually been a time where you feel like Brian's demonstrated different behaviors than his fellow peers or kids his age?
No, I feel like he's always been just right spot on.
I mean, not even
everybody
just
else.
from this point, like prior to this, as a toddler, baby.
Well, when he was in preschool, his teacher had brought up a situation, but I think she worked itself out.
And what
She
kind
only
of
brought it up.
situation was it?
She was just he was just having a hard time with recognizing some of the sounds that came off of his letters.
Okay. And does he currently still present that issue? Because I know you mentioned teachers probably stated that before, but I mean, is it?
Now when we're at home, it seems like he knows all of the sounds.
So he can clearly understand.
Yeah.
Above
I mean, when we're going over them together, he does just fine.
And are there any activities that the teacher has done and she stated that he has issue with that you've been able to complete, like classroom activities or hands-on activities?
Like the sound, she says that, and we would be able to do that. And whenever we're working on our homework, that she might say that they have problems with it. We don't have any issues with it at home or anything. She does it just fine.
And besides Brian's current teacher and his past teacher, has anyone else ever really shared any concerns with understanding Brian?
No, just this preschool teacher was the only, and she only said anything about it one time, so.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Sarah, for taking the time to answer these questions for me. At this point, we're going to go ahead and give Brian a full evaluation, just to kind of see what's going on and make sure that everything is going correctly like you've stated. And after that, we'll see where we're standing and go from there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.